Welcome back, baseball family, to another episode of the Baseball Together podcast. We have a special guest with us here. DC Glenn is in the house. How
Yeah,
you doing, DC?
I'm doing wonderful. How you good gentlemen doing?
I'm doing
great.
wonderful as
Thank
well.
you.
Good.
Appreciate you being here with us. We're going to jump into a rundown really quick, and then we'll give you a chance to introduce yourself. But we're going to break some ice real quick.
Got it.
First question on the rundown is, what is your quest?
My quest to have it all. Plain and simple. I want it all. That's it. No, and I mean, people, I'm a motivational speaker, and I ask people that question all the time because people are always complaining. And I'm like, what do you want? And they don't even know. They can't even answer that question because they're so, ecstatic about being in their own misery. And they're like, well, what do you want? I'm like, I want it all. And that's what I prepare for. That's what I hustle every day for. So I know that's a general answer, but I'm so serious. By the end of this conversation, you'll know why.
I
love it.
That's a great answer.
It's a fantastic answer. Okay, next question. What is your favorite color?
My favorite color is Fiji Island sea blue, because it's not just any blue. It's the blue that you see on the movies where it just the ultimate look of paradise. That's my favorite color. That type of blue.
Man.
I actually have it on. That's funny.
I was gonna say, is that the color of your shirt?
So it's short, like my shirt.
I knew a guy who spent a couple years in Fiji, and he told me, he's like, the beaches in Fiji hit different.
Yep.
It's different than Hawaii. He's like, Hawaii is ugly compared to Fiji.
Oh, Fiji is because it's untapped somewhat.
Yeah.
And that's its true nature. You know what I mean? But I mean, the whole world is kind of touched by things being thrown in the ocean, but there are certain places where you still can find the blue water. And that's the type of blue that I like.
I love it. Next question. If your favorite baseball team were a beverage, what would it be?
My favorite baseball team. Well, I don't know, but I know I love Sun-Kissed Orange, so it falls under Sun-Kissed Orange that's in Atlanta. I'm good.
That's awesome.
So I guess next season the Braves are going to change their uniforms to orange.
Special edition.
Yeah.
Exactly. The scoop there it is edition.
That's right.
like that sherbet orange. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
I'd be here for that.
That's the City Series. Call Nike. Get them on the phone.
Yeah, there we go.
Exactly.
There we go. Besides original, what is the best sunflower seed flavor?
Original, probably salt and vinegar.
Is that a first?
That. I've never had that. That's the first time we've had that one, and I've never had it. But man, I got to jump on that.
Either salt and vinegar or dill pickle.
Oh yeah. Brad's got an opinion about dill pickle.
I do have an opinion about dill pickle, but I'm going to save it for another day.
Yeah.
But no, I'm going to have to go find myself some salt and vinegar seeds like today because I am a compulsive sunflower seed eater. I keep this at my desk. And all day long.
All day long.
That's right. Next question. Is there a maximum age that it's appropriate to bring a baseball glove to a ball game?
No.
Whew.
Think about it. This is how you get away with it. You can bring a baseball game you can bring a baseball glove to a game as long as if you catch a ball, you give it to a kid.
7,000% agree.
Yep.
That's the only way you get away with it.
That's right.
If you don't, that's every woman in the stands is looking at you like that's so lame. And then probably every dude's looking at you like, I wish I could bring my glove to the game. Hey, whatever your choice is. As long if somebody says to you, "What man, you too old to be bringing," I said, "No, man, I bring these to the game, so if I catch a ball, I can give it to a kid." That's how you play with it.
Mm-hmm.
Can't nobody
Very
argue.
noble answer. No, you're right. You're right. Love it.
Yeah. And if you bring your own kid to the game, then it's easy.
Oh yeah,
right?
Both got gloves. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
exactly
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. All the single dudes out there, start taking notes. If you're a single dad, you start taking notes.
Yeah, there's a chick you like, take her son to the game.
Oh, that's easy.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
All right. What is the name of your autobiography?
Learn how to learn.
Wow.
Plain and simple.
It's deep. I like it.
Because that's what I live by. It's not enough to just learn. You got to learn how to learn. Right? When you learn how to learn, then the world is open to you. You're not doing what everybody else is doing. You're not doing the same mundane things. You see things clearly, right? They call me DC, the brain supreme, for a reason. And I live by that motto. I hustle, I play offense, and I just keep it moving, right? I stay positive. I look at the glass half full, not empty. And I just keep it pushing. And I love to learn because that is the thing that sets you free. That is the thing that makes you ambidextrous in life, right? Anything that comes at you, you can handle it because you've educated yourself in tactics that can overcome any type of negative emotion or negative thing that happens to you. And you just end up learning how to flip something negative into something positive because we are living in a bizarro world, whether you want to believe it or not, right?
Yeah.
Right now, we're in the bizarro world, but who says you can't flourish in the bizarro world, right? It's just another world. So how do you bring positivity and flourish in that world when everybody's being negative? And those are the things that learning how to learn will help you achieve. I'm deep. Sorry.
Man.
I love it.
I love it too.
Hey, man, I'm different. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hustler, right? And these are just tactics. These are tactics to help you get what you want. These are tactics to help you impose your will. You know, I had a post the other day. I said, what did it say? It said, I forgot what it said. It said something about, I can't remember it. I'll remember it later on. Let's keep moving. It's good.
Yeah.
Hey, and I'm getting old. It happens.
That'll happen. I hear that's what happens.
That's what happens.
All right, I got next question for you. Who is your daddy and what does he do?
Let's see. Who is my dad? Kind of like, you know, like in the context of Pedro.
Yeah.
Right?
Or yeah.
Pedro.
Is that what you're talking about in the context of Pedro?
No, it's a quote from Kindergarten Cop.
Actually, okay, so my father has passed, right? But he's still my daddy because he's taking care of me in spirit. And ever since he's passed, my life has just flourished. And I have no words for it. So it's all good. It is all good.
Man, we're gonna stop asking you lighthearted questions.
It's Pedro. Money.
Yeah. Ain't that the truth?
That money is my daddy.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Definitely, man. So, hey, man, it's all good.
All right, DC. If you could be a celebrity guest on any game show, what would it be? What is your game show of choice?
Game show of choice. That's a good one. Family Feud.
I like that show. It's so fun.
It's the best.
You know, those are the ones you grew up with, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I would have to say Family Feud, you know, because there's nothing better. And it's easy. It's easy for everybody, right? It's not one of those ones where it just Okay, this is boring. Let's get to the good part. Family Feud is just from the beginning to the end is good. Now, if we go old school, maybe the Gong Show. So maybe that one, but that's about it.
Yeah, that is a good one though. It is for everybody. You don't have to be like ultra smart, like on Jeopardy, like know a bunch of useless stuff. But yeah, it's fun.
Definitely.
Steve Harvey does a great job too. I love that guy.
Yeah, he's awesome. Okay, last question from me is if baseball were an ice cream flavor, what is it? What's baseball's ice cream flavor?
French vanilla, Rocky Road, chocolate, peanut butter cookie dough, scoop. Baby. I had to. I'm sorry.
You had to.
Brig's gonna lob you in a meatball. You're gonna hit it out of the park. I love it. That's fantastic.
I'm just grooving them right now.
Yeah.
Let's end on that one. Let's take a quick break. When we get back, we got more at DC Glenn.
All right.
No matter which ballpark you're at, you want to rep your team. Now you can with 9+ Us. Welcome to the Big City Series. With every design available in your team's colors, you can fit in with the home crowd or stand out on the road. Either way, we have the colors you crave. Shop the Big City Series and find designs that rep your favorite baseball podcast, cheer from the cheap seats, and much more. Shop the Big City Series only at 9plusus.com.
Welcome back, baseball family. Again, we have DC Glenn of Tag Team with us. So I figured if we're going to bring somebody on who's made one of the greatest stadium anthems of our lifetime, we got to talk about stadium music. I mean, we talk about walk-up music. We'll include that, I'm sure. But DC, we got to talk about stadium music with you. Are you down for this conversation today?
Yeah, whatever y'all want to
ask. So my first question for you, though, about this is like, my first exposure to the song "Whoop There It Is" was actually from the second Mighty Ducks movie, and walking around all the time wanting to be this cool street hockey player, singing this song every single day, pretty much since then. So I have to thank you for like a soundtrack to my life to some degree. What is it about this song that I guess? My first question is, where did you draw the inspiration for a song with this kind of drive and beat? Like, where did it come from?
Man, everybody thinks this is a big Manhattan project. Me and Steve had on lab coats and we're creating theorems and formulas and got flasks and physics and all that. And it ain't nothing. It's a song. That's it.
Yeah.
A song about guys chasing girls on a Friday night. It's the same thesis of every song in every genre, from country to rock and roll to blues to hip hop. Every single the same. There's only probably one theme, which is chasing women on a Friday night, drinking, getting messed up, and having a good time.
That's right.
That's all it was. And it just happened to be, I DJ'd in the club, so it just happened to be a catchy hook that people were saying, like, throw your hands in the air. And we just made a song, and it wasn't like I tried to make a song called Whoop There It Is. We just made a song called Whoop There It Is. And then the hustle took over because I saw what it was. And my hubris as a young man back then was like, well, shoot, everything, because I'm a DJ in the clubs, right? So I'm like, everything I make is going to be a hit. So I kind of stopped playing it. And then about 4 months later, I started playing it again. Same, biggest response on any record I've ever played. And I've been DJing for 30 years. And this record rep was in the house, that club that night. And he was like, hey, man, what is that? I was like, that's my new record. He's like, man, give me that, man. I'm about to go to New York. I'm going to let him hear it. He worked for Columbia Records. 2 days later, I get a call from Columbia Records. I'm like, hey, this could work. I sent it to all the labels in my region. They sent it up to New York, and now I got all these labels talking to me, but they're playing with me because they don't know what to do with it, because back then it was New York and LA. So I almost gave up, and another record rep named Lisa McCall told me, you should talk to Al Bell. He put out Daisy Dukes the year before, and it went gold. I was like, that's a good idea. And I called him. He called me about 2 weeks later, and I was like, look, dude, I got a hit record. I've tested it. It's going to be big. You need to sign us. And he was like, okay. I was like, man, don't play with my emotions like that. Come on now. You haven't even heard the record. And these words I will never forget as long as I live. He said, brother, I ain't got to hear the record. I hear it in your spirit.
Ooh.
And I was like, cool. I signed up. I gave my 2 weeks at Magic City, which was the club I was working at. Signed a messed up record contract. And in a month and a half, we were platinum. And the rest is history.
Bam.
That's amazing.
Yeah, man.
It goes to show you what you can do with a little moxie, though.
I mean, it's all about hustle.
Yeah.
Being in those clubs taught me how to hustle. I mean, I owe it all to my parents because my parents had me working. I was 5 years old. Every chore you could think of, I was masterful at. So I have never not known work. And as a grown man, I never feared work. I want it to be hard because I know everybody else is not going to want to do it. Right. And that has served me better than anything my parents have ever taught me. Just hustle, play offense. You know, everything that you do is going to come back to serve you later on. So keep doing it. Become masterful at it. People will call you jack of all trades, master of none, blah, blah, blah. But if you hustle long enough, you live long enough, learn how to learn, you become masterful at all those trades. And then they all serve you in ways you never thought imaginable. And that is how you become successful.
Fantastic.
So good we started.
I love it, man.
We started.
Yeah.
It's true.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I live it, right? I've gone through my heartache and I've gone through my, pain, but you can go through heartache, pain, be depressed, and all those negative emotions that fill us throughout our lives because it's humanity. You can do that and keep it moving at the same time. You can do two things at once, right? You can lay in the bed and be depressed, but you can also get your butt up and keep it moving and hate it, right? As long as you keep moving. If you're in a storm, right? If you're on the sea in a boat on a storm, do you just stop your ship and just, okay, we're going to stop and we're going to let this storm pass? No, you keep it moving. You go through that storm and you fight through it. You come out of the other end and you see rainbows, okay? There's always something good at the end of something bad. You just have to fight through it. I mean, think about it. There's always something good at the end of something bad.
Yeah.
It fails. So I choose to play offense. What do baseball players do when they get in a slump? They keep swinging. They keep swinging.
Yeah.
They can be frustrated. They can have the announcers can keep talking about him. Well, he's been 2 for 38. So you going to quit? No, you're going to keep swinging.
Yeah.
You're going to take your swing. You're going to figure out what's wrong. And then you're going to come up with something new because you were positive about it. Now, everybody who thought they had scouted you correctly are trying to figure out what the hell did you do to start batting again. And now you're batting 300, right?
Yeah.
And if you do that often, now you got a toolbox of things you can pull out. And that's what makes great hitters great. I mean, come on now. You're looking at it. You're seeing it in people every day. You have to keep it moving. You have to hustle. And I mean, I just know that works for me. And I just continue to strive to be better than I was yesterday. And that's why I'm an actor. That's why I'm a voiceover artist this week on NBC. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, I've got 4 TV shows right now, 3 movies. I audition constantly. Right? I'm a motivational speaker at colleges now. And back in the day, I was a licensed commodities broker. Now I'm, trying to get mastery at crypto. Any new technology, I'm on it, right? Everything, I'm masterful at SEO because search engine optimization, because getting your message out is the most important thing. You don't need 1,000 people to like you. You need 10 people to pay you.
Amen to that.
Messes up. Everybody's like me, please like me. I need 100,000 likes, please. No, man, just need 10 people to pay you. And then the likes. It's about solving problems. It's about answering questions, right? If I could solve a problem for you, that's what it's all about. So all these things that I talk about are just practical things in life that you can overcome just by keeping it moving.
All right, I'm going to go off script, DC. I got to ask you this question. Sounds like somebody like, so me and you very similar, right? I think exactly the same way, and I reach burnout often. What would you say is your self-care routine? How regular is it, or do you use achievement and accomplishment and momentum as your self-care?
There is no self-care, because the only way there's self-care is if you look at it as a quid pro quo. If I do this, this got to happen. The only reason you're feeling burnt out is because you connected it to, I got to do this so this happens. And my analogy is, you don't plant a seed, then sit down Indian style, say, okay, seed, I need you to grow. Why ain't you growing, seed? This seed ain't growing. Man, this seed don't work, I quit. Right? How many people we know like that, right?
Lots. Yeah.
Because they're emotionally tied to it, and it is a quid pro quo. But if you take that out of it, you keep it moving. You plant that seed, you keep it moving. And I have planted so many seeds in my life, back then and recently, that I stand before you in a forest of opportunity unimaginable. And the fact that I am at that point in life, there is no burnout because everything is so exciting. I can't wait to get to the next day. Your self-care is take your ass to sleep and get up the next day and keep it moving. Now, I understand what you're saying, right? But if I travel to a place for business, that can also double up as a little recreation as well if you stay an extra day.
100%. Yeah.
You know, that's what I do. Like I probably never had a vacation, because if I had to go sit on a cruise ship for 7 days, I'd die. I would, man. I would. I couldn't function, because I can't even go on a date anymore, because I feel that there's a better use of my time. Right? Because
you're preaching now. You're speaking my language, man.
I want it all. Right? And when you want it all, there's sacrifice. You have to sacrifice because you only have a limited amount of time. And because I'm older, it is not lost on my emotions that the clock is ticking. Right? The clock is ticking. This is the end of the third quarter. I got a quarter and a half left. What am I going to do? Right? And that's how I live my life. Now, self-help is important because you got to stay healthy to achieve all these things you want to do. Right? But from a mental perspective, there are times I get burnt out, but I just keep moving, because you can do two things at once. You can be burnt out, but you still keep it moving. It's the same thing as I'm lazy as they come. In my mind, I'm the laziest dude there is. I don't want to do nothing, but I do it anyway. Right?
I understand that on so many levels.
I have a person on my shoulder. I call him Monsieur Saboteur. I'll lay in the bed and I'll be like, all right, you gotta go to the gym, Monsieur Saboteur. Like, nah, man, you ain't gotta go to the gym. Like, yeah, dude. Nah, man, we ain't gotta go to the gym. Like, dude, just get up slow, put your pants on, put your shoes on, go to the gym. All right. Well, let's not go to the gym. Let's go to Wendy's. Nah, dude. In the morning? Come on, dude. You constantly argue with Monsieur Saboteur, but now you're in your truck and you're like, okay, we can go to the gym. And now you're like, well, hey, man, we only gonna stay for 10 minutes. Man, we going to the gym and we gonna work out. And by the time you get to the gym and you're there, Monsieur Saboteur is poof, he's gone. And when you do your workout and you come out of that gym, the only thing and the most beautiful words that you always say are, man, I'm glad I went to the gym today.
Amen. That's exactly right.
Now, I didn't want to do it, but I did it anyway. And now the reward is what keeps you going. Now, sometimes he wins. Sometimes I'll lay my butt in the bed and get up and cook me some pancakes and call it a day. And don't want to do like today. I probably won't do nothing for the rest of the day, but I've earned that right. I know that everything that I put in place is humming along on automation, right?
Yeah.
There are things that needs to be done, but sometimes you got to take a break, and I can take a break, but it's not going to be for long. I might be like, I'm going to take the rest of the day off, and I'll go lay down for 5 minutes, be right back up grinding. So don't think about it. Just know that, for me, what helps is I have lists everywhere. I write things down that need to be done. And then whenever I start feeling like that, or whenever I start going down the rabbit hole of a whole bunch of things, and then you just feel like you're chasing your tail, I'll just stop, I'll breathe through my nose, and I'll look at that list, and I'll do the first thing until it's done. And then before you know it, 5 things on that list are done. It's about the tactics. That's how you learn how to learn. Like, perfect example of learn how to learn. If I get a long ass email, after the first sentence, I'm daydreaming, and I'm still reading the email. By the end of the email, I'm like, damn, I don't even know what he was talking about. Now I got to read it over again. Right? And you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. So what do I do? Email. I throw it in the AI. I throw it in a reader. It reads to me now. And I'm still checking other emails until something catches my ear. Wait a minute. Okay. And now I'm reading along with the AI while the AI is reading along to me. Now I'm getting double the retention in my brain. Now I understand fully what needs to be done. Learn how to learn. These are tactics to help your time management, to help you retain more information, to help you get to your goal closer, right? And all the things that I do require this type of thinking. Acting. Acting wrecks people because they think it's a popularity contest. If you do an audition and you don't get picked, why didn't they pick me? Right? And I don't look at it that way. I'm like, I don't even care. I'm like, if I got to do 1,000 auditions to get to the one I need, to the role I need, let me do 50 a day. Just like with basketball or baseball. If I got to hit 1,000 balls to where everything is sore, then that's what I got to do. If you want to be great. If you want to be mediocre, you'll do your 10 minutes a day. And, you might have natural talent, you might not. But if you really want it, it's about the reps, right?
Every time.
It's about the reps. You don't go to the gym, do one set of 20 on bench press, then go to the mirror and say, yeah, I'm buffed. Don't work like that.
No.
It takes time. And so many people do that, right? They do that constantly. That's why they're miserable, because they've got it twisted from the beginning. It's a quid pro quo. They think that's how kids are. And I'm not even going to put that on kids. I put it on grown folks. I put it on everybody. There's people who think like that, and there's people who don't.
Yep.
And the beautiful thing about this pandemic is that it forced everybody to stop. And now we're all in the Serengeti together. And what you gonna be, predator or prey? Now we get to see what people are made of.
Yeah,
that's right.
And you go. I reinvented myself. I know who I am, but I see the opportunities. There's nothing is like it used to be. This is all a brand new frontier, right? I'm standing at the foothills and I'm looking at a mountain. There's a reason that they say there's gold in them dar hills.
That's right. Yeah.
And that's my mountain, and it's up to me to go distract all that gold because it's mine. That's how I see all my challenges ahead of me. It is up to me to go get it. Nobody's going to give it to me. There's no agent that could do it for me. It is up to me to do the hustle, to get the education, to learn what I need to learn, to get what I need to get. Period.
It is. And I totally agree with you, like 100%, and especially like coming from like the baseball perspective. Like
Mhm.
I'm coaching my son's little league team right now. He's 7. There's up to 9 years old on that team, and I keep telling these kids like you've got to want to learn, you know.
Mhm.
And like as an athlete, you got to be open to coaching. You've got to be open to learning new things that are different, like changing the way that your body operates to some degree, right?
Mhm.
Like breaking muscle memory and establishing new memory.
What?
And
Man,
yeah, it's
I
big
got a
time stuff, and it all goes into life and everything like that. It's
Yeah.
awesome.
I got a
I
good
love
story
it.
for you. 3 months
Send
ago,
it.
3 months ago, I get a call from the Chicago White Sox. DC, we want you guys to throw out the first pitch. Oh my God. I didn't think. Cool, man. I panicked because I do not want to
It's a
be
big deal.
I want to be 50 Cent. I do not want to be Fauci.
Yep.
Yeah.
Fauci could have ended the pandemic if he had threw a strike.
You're right. You're right. You would have.
If Fauci had threw a strike 60 miles an hour straight to he would have ended the pandemic
Oh
in
man.
so many people's eyes. But because he threw it straight to the ground, we still in a pandemic.
It's like Groundhog Day.
Right? I said, I don't want to be like that. So I go to the bat and I start throwing. And I realized I couldn't throw. Now I could float one over the plate, but my only goal was to get the ball over the plate.
Yep.
That's it. And then what happens is I start getting coaching. I start getting better at throwing. And I'm looking at how he's teaching all the little kids. And I'm picking up little things. And I'm bringing my arm back. And then I'm coming and I'm throwing it over. You know, I'm getting the mechanics together. And now I'm throwing a little heat.
Mm.
Then I pitched a nerve.
Yeah,
No.
of course.
No.
2 days before we got to go throw the pitch. But I knew the mechanics. So when we performed before the game and then I get on the mound, I said, I better just play. So, you know, I shook off a couple signs. Me and the mascot are playing, right?
Yeah.
And then I just throw the ball over the plate. Mission accomplished, right? I didn't throw heat like I wanted to, but I got the ball over the plate. But I still throw 3 or 4 days a week because it is the greatest workout that I've ever done. I've wrestled, played basketball, done everything. Throwing 100 pitches, I leave drenched.
Yep.
Right?
For sure.
And now it's gotten good to me. I want to pitch in a way that I am satisfied. And I am not going to stop pitching until I do.
Mhm.
Because the next time somebody calls tag team and say, we want you to throw out the first pitch, they are going to get heat.
Turn on that radar gun.
And
I love it.
The reason I'm thinking this way, because if you throw a great pitch, Sports Center is yours that night.
Yep.
Mhm.
You fire a fastball down the middle, Sports Center is yours that night.
Your top 10
And
play.
then every other Major League Baseball team is like, hey, why don't y'all come throw for us? You
Exactly.
see how my mind works?
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. That's
That's
exactly
brand
right.
building.
What?
Yep.
That's what I do
That's right.
every
That's
day
awesome.
of my life. I try to take any opportunity and create 10 tentacles out of it that go into 10 other things. And people say, DC, you can't do everything. DC, you can't do all this. You can't do all that. The traditionalists. And I'm like, you know what? You're right. But I sure enough can be prepared for everything. They're like, you know what? You're right. And I just shake my
That's
head
right.
because I'm like, the very thing you just disapproved of, you approve of, said a different way.
Yep.
Because preparation is doing everything. That's it.
Yeah. It is.
You don't know what's going to happen, but you know all you have control over what you do. So all I do is prepare.
Mm-hmm.
You know, yesterday, like the last 2 weeks, I'll just be like, I don't want to do nothing else but crypto. And then I realized I'm slipping a little. So I had to readjust and handle my business, right?
Oh.
Because you have to be prepared for every opportunity that comes your way. We're about to do Thanksgiving Day parades with Disney. You need to be
Nice.
figuring out what opportunities you can fold out of this. I was just on one of my TV shows came the other night. I just shot Dynasty. I just shot a TV show P Valley. It's happening. So now I get to do press releases on all these things that I do because the press release is a Trojan horse for me.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
I want out in the universe, right?
Yeah.
I could be like I throw a 100-mile-an-hour fastball, and I'm just for having fun. There's gonna be a scout that's like, I gotta see this. You know what I mean?
That's right.
But somebody's gonna say, I gotta see this. That's how I think, right? So
Yeah.
I throw things in the universe that I want because you never know who is listening.
Well, and then you could make a movie or a TV show about baseball, and you're in the cast now because you could throw a ball, right? And you got acting capabilities and
Probably
all.
got better
all that
mechanics
ready to
than
go.
Tim Robbins too.
Exactly. Like my wheelhouse now. My wheelhouse now is barber and judge. I had to learn how to become a barber just to be believable.
Yep.
And I did. Right. And it's like whatever I get to do, I'm going to prepare overkill. And that's why the Geico commercial is the Geico commercial, because I spent a month preparing. I said, I want to go on this thing with 5 or 6 things that make this, that I can add to it to make it mine.
Yeah.
And the night before, went to the producer and the director. I said, hey, man, got a couple ideas. Whatever you want to do, DC. Well, I wanted to get a spin and scoop, but I couldn't find anybody to replicate it. It's like, it'll be done tomorrow, DC. I was like, whoa. I know kids love sprinkles. I don't know why I love sprinkles, but we got to have a bunch of sprinkles because I'm doing the salt-based sprinkle. I'm doing the ode to LeBron James. I might do ball throw sprinkle, whatever. We have a sprinkle food fight. I said, DC, we'll have a truckload of sprinkles. And we shot. It could have made 5 Geico commercials out of all the stuff that we shot.
Yeah.
Things that make that commercial great, that brought so many people joy, that still bring people joy. Those were the things that were prepared. Because preparation is doing everything you can to impose your will on everybody.
Okay, so what do you say no to? And how do you determine what to say no to? Because you can't say yes to everything. You got priorities and everything.
I say no to a lot.
Yeah, I bet you do.
If it doesn't fit in my little ball of hustles, I have to say no.
Okay.
Like they're like, DC, we need you to do cameo. We want you to do cameo. I have to say no because I'm not about to sit around and be going shout outs to people all day, even though it can be lucrative because it's not in the big ball of hustles that I do. It's not the things that serve me, right? DC, we need you to do this. Can't do it, man, because it's not in the scheme, right? There's a scheme that I have that one thing might serve 3 other things. You see what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
It has to work within what I'm trying to do. So, perfect example. People like, so what's the next song you're gonna make? I ain't never making no songs. Again, not as an artist, because I got a forever hit record. What am I gonna make another song for? Right? You know, it's like, well, say I make a Christmas record, and it's like, hey, everybody, I made a Christmas record. Look at my new record. And everybody's gonna say, man, DC was doing good with that Geico commercial. You need to sit his old ass down. Right? Or do you like this one? It's Christmas time and you hear a Walmart commercial and you hear this song that's got a great beat. What is that song? Hey, you heard that song in that commercial? Man, who sings that? That's DC from Tag Team. What? Man, he's still making money. Which result is better? It's your approach.
Yeah.
Me doing songs go into me doing things that deal with acting or voiceover. So if I'm acting, maybe I could submit this song in a Christmas movie that I have auditioned for 8 months earlier. And now that song is in a movie. And now I can license that song forever.
Yeah.
That's a picture.
Yeah. That's right.
Yep.
I try to teach people how to think different. There's so many ways to do it. I'm not trying to I'm trying to do jingles. So if I'm doing jingles, well, let me find some angel investors see what companies they're rocking with underneath them, and then say, hey, I want to help you make some jingles. Let me help you do some, maybe make some theme songs for you. And you don't even got to pay me in cash, pay me in stock. If that company blow, you know what that means.
You're in.
There you go.
That's right.
There's all kind of ways to do things. It's about preparing and keeping it confined to your hustles, your mastery, things that you've mastered, things that serve you, your toolbox. There's no way that I'm going all the way over there to do something when it hurts all the things that I've worked so hard to develop, right?
Yeah.
So, you could take a couple weeks to start something new and grind on it, and then fold it in, and then it'll see how it works with everything else. But if it don't work with what I'm doing now and it takes me away from what I'm doing moving forward, I can't do it. So that's how I say no to things.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
Real quick, we have about 10 minutes left here, Brig, you think?
Yeah.
I wanted to spend the last few minutes here actually like getting back to the stadium music conversation. DC, what is one thing that you feel like a stadium anthem needs? Is there one component or characteristic that a song that makes a great stadium anthem needs to have in it? Is it like the beat? Is it just a catchy rhythm? Is it the lyrics? What is it about a stadium anthem that makes it successful?
It can't be created, because the only thing that makes a stadium anthem is when something good happens, you play it, it augments it by times 5. It's the only thing. It's the only way it happens, right? Think about it. Play song. You hear all kinds of songs played in arenas, but only the ones that when something good happens and you play it, takes the electricity, the energy, the happiness, the glory to a whole nother level. And that is what makes a stadium song and makes it last. Even if your song's only played once per game. I know Whoop There It Is going to be played once a night in every arena in every stadium in the world.
Forever.
Yeah,
Forever.
for the rest of time. Yeah, absolutely.
Forever. Yep.
Well, and I never would have thought of Enter Sandman as being like a big song for a baseball game, but Mariano Rivera came out to that song 150 times a year or something like that, whatever, and it became a thing. And I actually I'm going to die on this hill, Brig. Until We Die by Escape the Fate is one of the greatest, has the potential to be one of the greatest entrance songs for a closer in Major League Baseball in the history of the world, even though it's like hardcore and borderline metal. I think that it could be one of the best because of the drive.
And that goes to what you just said. You can make entry songs for baseball players. That's one way. If you make 10 entry songs about the situation that a baseball player comes to the bat, comes to the plate, or gets bought in for pitching, somebody's going to like that song. And if it's a hit, you got every person in that scenario playing that song because it is about them.
Right.
That is such a different way of thinking.
Yeah.
That it might work. Right. But you have several songs that are like that. And then all you need is one. Right. You need one. And then you might even pitch that. So that's for the baseball game. But then you could pitch that to a marketing agency and say, I have this, and give them 5 pitches on baseball commercials. Within that one, I have this pitch where they call up the pitcher and he comes in and they play this song. And then he goes on and just pitches strikes. And it just gets higher and higher, and then you could tie your company to these. Is what happens is we're the closer. Yeah. You could do like there's so many things you could do.
I agree. I love that.
You see what I'm
and
saying?
That's the kind of and you got to get specific.
I just thought of it, but that's what I do. I have an encyclopedia of ideas like that. But am I going to do that now? No, now's not the time. But I remember that. Right. Yep. If the situation comes about, and I can hash that out, that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to try it. And if it don't work, I try it.
For sure.
Absolutely. I had something else. Brig, did you have did you have a question for DC about stadiums or music or anything, or learning to learn? Because honestly, that learning to learn thing is like the perfect phrase for what Brig and I are both about. Like, I love that so much.
That's
I
right.
mean, what else is there? Right?
Mhm.
You only get one life.
Yep.
And while we are living, 90% of people take it for granted.
Mhm.
You get one life. You better ride it till the wheels fall off. You know,
Well, and I like what.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I like what you said about the song is there. The song is always there, but it's the situation, it's the moment that makes the song.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what you were saying about preparing for those opportunities. It's not the opportunity that's going to come and go fast. It's the preparation. It's all the back end stuff. That's always there. And if it is, then in that moment you're ready to go. In that moment you play the song, and then it becomes magic.
Because opportunities are always going to be coming at you hard and fast
all the time.
But
yeah,
you see one go by. Ooh, I could do that one. You snatch it, and it's the right time and the right. For us to do that Geico commercial in a pandemic where everybody was tired,
and
they were looking for something, and to bring that much joy to the world at that time in history, preparation. People might say it's luck. I believe in luck. I believe luck is manufactured because I've seen that happen, right? There are reasons there is always a reason why something happens. But maybe it could be luck. But if it is luck, what is going to take luck to the next level? Preparation.
Yep.
And
then you hit play on the song.
That way.
You hit play on that song and it matches the moment.
It matches the moment. You know, a lot of times it doesn't. But that don't mean that song is bad. That just means that song is not for the moment. If I don't get picked for a movie, it's not because I'm a terrible actor. It's because I'm not right for that movie.
That's it.
That's real.
Yeah.
But if I do a good job, man, we can't use him for that. But I think we might be able to use him for this next project we're working on. Let's come back to him a little later.
Oh,
then you can audition a year later, be like, we knew you were going to do this a year ago.
Yeah.
So
that happens.
DC, on my day job, I help people get jobs. My job is to advocate for veterans, and I help veterans get jobs from a corporate liaison business development perspective. And I always tell my job seekers, I'm like, you go in there as though this is your favorite job ever, that you're going to get it, that they cannot live without you. And if they don't pick you, it's okay, because networking is not about who you know anymore. Now it's about who knows who you are.
Knows you are, exactly.
It's who knows you.
You said that because I was doing that at 16, right? Like my friends would come to me and be like, hey, man, I can't get no job. I went around to 4 places today. They just ain't nobody hiring. I was like, 4 places? I was like, I'll get you a job about 20 minutes. Watch. He's like, no, you can't. Let's like, watch. Give me that yellow book over there. For those who know what a yellow book is, it's like a computer in a big yellow book. It's like it's like a big yellow book. And I said, where do you want to work at? Restaurants. Hey, how you doing? Are you guys hiring today? No. Okay, thank you. Hey, can I come fill out an application? No, we're not hiring right now. Excuse me, are you guys hiring, or can I come fill out an application? Man, this girl just quit. If you can get here today, we might be talking about something. It's like, there you go, dog.
Yep.
Took 5 minutes to get you a job because I thought differently. If you look on the phone book, you got thousands of people, thousands of businesses. All you got to do is pick up the phone and ask if they are accepting applications or if they're hiring. You never know what business is in a situation where they need employees, where somebody just retired, somebody just quit, somebody just got caught stealing. Their business is too good now, so they need more people. So you can do that by getting on the phone, calling and talking, networking that way, right? And I tried to start a hedge fund. I didn't know nothing about a hedge fund, but what I did is I started making calls, and that's the only time I use my celebrity. I'm DC Tag Team. I got Deion Sanders. I got all these Atlanta athletes. I can control some money. I need a hedge fund manager. Can I get a meeting? Sure, you can.
Yeah.
And now I'm in a boardroom in Vegas, and I'm like, why should I let y'all run my hedge fund? And they're like, DC, our returns are like this, and we do this and this and that and this and this and this. And what they don't realize is while they're pitching me, they're teaching me.
Yes.
Learn how to learn. Tactics.
Yeah.
I tell people all the time, if you're stuck, join an organization. Organizations, societies, associations are filled with people who have been masterful at their profession for 10, 20, 30, 40 years and can't wait to give you the game.
That's right.
And that's how I did that when we did the Geico commercial, because I wanted to get a publicist for acting and voiceover. And everybody's like, we're in a pandemic, we ain't doing nothing, blah, blah. They gave me every reason why they shouldn't instead of one reason why they could. So I said, forget that, I'm gonna be my own damn publicist. I joined the Public Relations Society of America. 2 days in, I'm on a Zoom cast with this big CEO of this PR firm because we get to ask questions. I was like, hey, our press release is relevant because I got a press release I want to drop. It's Super Bowl week, right?
Yeah.
And they're like,
Yeah.
like, well, I'm kind of featured in a national Geico commercial called Scoop. There it is. No, that's not him. That couldn't be him. Looking at the chat. Oh my God, my girl loves that song. My grandpa loves that song. Everybody loves that. Blew up the entire Zoom cast. Now the whole Zoom cast is about me. and the CEO goes, of course that press release is going to work because the whole last year has been about COVID. The whole last year has been political. And here you guys come dancing, smiling, throwing sprinkles and spinach.
Yeah.
Of course, that press release is going to work. You can go here for all the publicists, here for all TV talk shows, here for all the podcasts, here for all, make sure your pitches are like this. And I have not looked back, and it has changed my life forever. And it is the reason that you and I are here talking right now. Ain't nobody gonna tell me what I could do, what I can't do. Right?
Yeah.
If there's one thing everybody remembers from what I said, if there's something you want to do, it is never too late. And all you got to do is join the organization. You don't even got to join the organization. Just pick up the phone and start asking questions. And you do that for 2 weeks, you will know everything that you need to know about the thing that it is that you want to do. Then it's up to you to put in the work.
That's right. You add a little YouTube and you're gold. You can do a lot.
And it you know, people always ask me, it's like, well, you know, why this and why that? And I was like, did nobody say this was going to be easy? It never gets easy. And I tell you, this is my, I will say this to my dying breath because it's the truth. It never gets easier, but it does get better. And that's all you can hope for in life. That's it.
Yep.
And if it gets better, hey man, you're doing good. Right?
That's right.
Because as long as you strive for something great, it's never going to be easy. Ever.
Yep.
But it'll be better. You'll get better. Your stats will be better. Instead of batting 200, now you're batting 220.
Yep.
Still ain't easy. But now that you batting 220, you batting 250. Still ain't easy, but it's better. Right?
Yep.
Your ERA is 3, but now it's 2.8. It ain't easier, but it's better.
Yeah.
Yep. For sure. Well, DC, we've only got a little bit of time left. I want to, like I said, I want to be respectful of your time. But last question for you before we go. Do you think the Braves are going to be able to hold on to Freddie Freeman?
I mean, Freddie Freeman might just step away off into the sunset because that's the story. And it's not about the Braves keeping him or him wanting to stay. It's just, you know, enjoy what it is now, right? Like I'm from Denver, so you know I had to watch them. They didn't get rid of Von Miller. They got Von Miller was not going to come back, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So they sent him to a contender to get the most that they could get out of him, and then it worked out for everybody. So I'm sure whatever Freddie does, it'll work out for everybody because of what he means to this. So it's not about if they let him go or if they keep him or if they want to do it. It's about, you know what I mean? It's about what everybody wants. Just like Tom Brady. Tom Brady was like, I told them in the beginning, this is my last year here, and I'm going to go see what's out there for me, right? Mm-hmm. But you're not going to trade Tom Brady when you go to the playoffs because you know all you got to do is step his pinky toe into the playoffs and he's going to win a Super Bowl.
That's right.
Yeah. So why would you trade to get something for the future? You just ride him out. Y'all both part amicably. And now everybody's happy. Patriots got what they want. Tom's got what he wants. And that's all you can hope for, right? And so I think he might come back and do 1 year. They might do like a series of 1 year contracts. and he just stayed with the Braves, but maybe he might want that money and go secure his future. So it's hard to say.
It is tough to say, and I'd like to see him stay. I think it would be good for the team, good for the city, everything like that.
Hey man, I've been a Braves fan since TBS in Denver, Colorado when I was a little boy.
That's right.
We talk about that all the time. Yeah.
There were only two national syndicated, two national cable channels, which was TBS and WGN.
100%.
That's why everybody loves the Braves and the Cubs.
Everybody loves Cubs. Yep. 100%.
Right?
You're right.
Braves forever. And I went through the 90s and the thousands and just been through that heartache. Even this year, you were like, yeah, they'll fold eventually, right? But they didn't because it's different.
I think we were writing their obituary in July.
Oh yeah.
We had them buried.
Hey, I was writing the obituary after Game 5.
Oh man, no kidding.
But then something told me it's like they ain't about to go to Game 7. They not trying to. They ain't trying to have that. I know if I had rest and I'm a starting pitcher, I'm gonna pitch my ass off, no matter what.
Yeah.
And their pitching performance in Game 6 was mesmerizing.
It was no miss baseball,
especially when they got to middle relief and to the end. It was just like zap, zap, zap. Every placement, it just was masterful. And it don't get easier, but it gets better, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't easy. Tell me that was not easy for them.
No.
It was not easy. They had to be at the top of their game. They had to make literally no mistakes, because if they had awakened 3 bats from the Astros, it was over.
That's right.
Yeah, at any given time, any 3 bats, you're absolutely right.
Down the whole way.
It was beautiful.
The whole way. And you just knew how you hit a home run out of the ballpark.
Whew. Oh.
That's what I said. I was like, there are bombs, there are nukes, there are tanks, and then there's whatever this was, because that was majestic.
Right. It was majestic.
Goodness.
Before we go, I want to thank y'all for just letting me come on here and just run my mouth, because I learn more from running my mouth and networking, and it makes me better. Yeah. And if I could just say one thing here and one thing there to change somebody's life, then I feel good about that. And I just want to say thank you. I appreciate
you.
We really appreciate you coming on. I mean, like we said, we initially planned on talking about stadium music, but I think honestly, DC, we've got a lot of great information and a lot of great advice. Especially this whole time, I was thinking about young ball players, looking up to a lot of things that you said, and how they can get to the top level that they want to reach. And it's all that stuff that you talked about. I mean, it's applicable in life, it's applicable in sports, and I love it. Every single little bit of it.
You got to put in the reps. Period.
That's right.
You don't put in the reps, it ain't gonna happen. I mean, think about it. If Ben Simmons says, you know what, I'm about to go put in the reps,
he learned how to shoot.
Look at Lonzo Ball.
He figured it out.
You remember his jump shot when he was a rookie?
Yeah.
Look at his
ugly
jump shot now.
Yeah.
He's a better player. He gets better and better and better and better because he puts in the work. But some people don't put in the work. Some people just say, I'm gonna get this money and I'm gonna keep it moving.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. But thank you again for joining us, DC.